Did you know that your child's brain probably won't be fully developed until they're about 25? Hey, I'm Dr. Dave, and on today's Thrive in 5, I'll share some tips about perspective and seeing the world through your child's eyes. Have you ever felt overwhelmed and frustrated with your child and wondered why they won't listen or why they're being so mean to their siblings? If you're a parent, then yes, of course, you get it. Children bring some of life's greatest joys, but also all kinds of challenges and frustrations. Sometimes it seems like they're trying to make us crazy, but they aren't. They're just trying to figure out this world and how to grow up in it. As parents, most of the time, we do things because they make sense to us, such as waking up in the morning at a certain time, making a breakfast we like, mowing the lawn, cleaning the kitchen, and so on. We understand why we do things. And in our heads, we have a good reason for doing them. And children are much the same. They do things for reasons that make sense to them, even when we don't understand what in the world were they thinking. Their goal is to get their wants and needs met. And they often don't think about the consequences. They just do it. And when they're young, it's tough for them to communicate with words the things they really want or need. So if you have children between the ages of 2 to 6, you totally get it. If you have more than one child, you may wonder sometimes, how are you so different from your brother or sister? So it takes patience and time to figure out each child. And just when you think you have one figured out, you have another one, or that child changes on you and you're like, wait, what? It's frustrating. So when we slow down and try to understand the world and our children's experiences from their perspective, it can bring understanding and even compassion. What happens is that we forget what it was like to be that little, and we forget the mistakes that we made and the chaos that we caused our own parents. So remember, they're not trying to drive you nuts. They're probably doing things to meet their needs, even if it doesn't make sense to us. Here's a couple of examples. When was the last time that you made your child lunch, they ate a little bit, then 30 minutes later, they're whining about being hungry? Now, if your reaction is like mine, you might have said something like, "You're not hungry, we just ate lunch. Next time you need to eat more so you're not so hungry," right? So what happens is that we often tell ourselves stories in our heads like, "I just ate lunch and I'm not hungry," or "There's no possible way she's hungry. She's just bored. She's going to have to wait until dinner." And while some of this may be true, we forget that their stomachs are much smaller than ours. And so is their digestive system and their metabolism and their sensitivity to hunger and so much more. It's common and it's easy to dismiss children's feelings because we don't agree with them or we don't see their perspective. It's similar to when a child falls and scrapes their knee. They may be screaming and we may not even be able to tell which knee was hurt, right? Again, when we see the world from our child's perspective, we realize that they haven't built up pain tolerance like we have, and their nerves are firing away to their brains, telling them, "This is it, you're gonna die." Another common example is when your child is mean or hits another child. Our immediate reaction is to get mean and mad and swoop up the child into timeout. But when we see the world from their eyes and come up with 3 reasons why they should hit the child, it forces us to see the reasons why they do what they do. It still doesn't make hitting the right answer, and consequences should happen, but we see that our child might be tired or hungry or lonely or afraid or jealous. The principle is this: all feelings are acceptable, but not all actions are acceptable. And people do things for reasons that make sense to them, especially when they experience strong emotions. So let me recommend an amazing resource developed by one of my all-time heroes and parenting scholars and one of my best friends, Dr. Wally Goddard. It's called See the World Through My Eyes. So Dr. Wally basically took a look at the most frustrating and stressful experiences for parents who have children between the ages of about 2 and 6. And he wrote about 21 short handouts, but he wrote these from the child's perspective. So they're from the child's voice, and I've never seen anyone else create anything close to this. So I'll share a link to this resource so you can print it out for free, or you can order it online for $5. I hope today's Thrive in 5 video has been helpful. I'd love to read your comments and let me know if you have questions or ideas for more videos. And be sure to subscribe so you don't miss another one. That's all for now. I'm Dr. Dave, and this has been another Thrive in 5. For the best relationship tips and happy hacks, visit drdavespeaks.com.